Hi there, it's Julie from juliedavison.com. Thank you so much to everybody who ordered from me in January 2020. I always send out a free gift and a free project kit, and so in this video today, I'm going to share the free projects and the free gift that I'm giving to those people who ordered from me in January. So you won't get this kit if you order again, but you will get a different kit and a different gift. You can place an order in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop. Use the hostess code. If it doesn't work, just leave it blank and I'll fill it in for you later. And you have the opportunity to earn a free gift if you are ordering in the United States from me and you order $40 or more. So this is something I do every month and the kit changes each month. So let me show you what is coming in the kit for my January customers. First of all, they're going to get the free gift, and that is 4x6 pieces of the Parisian Beauty designer paper. This is brand new in the January through June mini catalog. So you'll get a little sampler, 4x6 pieces for you to use on any project that you want. I'm not using them on any of the projects in this kit, so these are completely 100% for you. Then you'll get a half a package of the champagne rhinestones, so gorgeous, and 4 of the pearlized doilies. Even though the doilies are in the annual catalog, I thought they went really well with this designer paper and rhinestones. Let me show you some swap cards that I have using this designer paper. I personally haven't played with it a whole lot yet, but I love all of these cards, and hopefully they will inspire you to use your free gift. So this first one is by Kay Cogbill, and she used the designer paper in the background, plus the Happy Birthday to You Sale-a-Bration stamp set that you can get for free during Sale-a-Bration when you place a $50 order. This next card is by Angie Leach, and she's used that beautiful detailed die cut of the Eiffel Tower with the swirl embossing folder and some of the designer paper. You can also see the champagne rhinestones in there. This next card is by Jody Reinhardt, and I love this little 1.5-inch strip of designer paper that she's used. It really highlights the beautiful paper, really clean, pull in the colors, petal pink, Coastal Cabana Pool Party, and Basic Black. Such a striking card. This next one is by Anna Masternak, and she has used a strip here in the background of the designer paper, and then some of the stamp and die cut elements from the Parisian Beauty stamp set. This one was a make and take that we created at On Stage. We stamped directly on the designer paper and colored in with Stampin' Blends. You see the designer paper here. It's included in the gift, and then this is highlighting a new punch that is in the mini catalog. This card is by Meg Lovin. I love the little strip of designer paper that she's made here, and then we've got some collage stamping. I love this lace trim, such a great addition to this suite. This is in the annual catalog. And the last card here is by Kay Kaltoff, and she has used the designer paper and the colors to mirror and mimic the coloring that she's done on the Happy Birthday to You cake. So I hope that these cards will inspire you with your free gift and that you will enjoy creating projects with that. In addition to the free gift, the January kit includes 3 projects. So today I'm going to walk you through creating the projects and show you the stamp sets that I used and some of the techniques. So we're going to start with this card here, and I'll pull in the finished card to show you. This card is using the Christmas Rose. Christmas time is here, designer paper. This came out in November, and it is still available in the online store, including the gold ribbon, the gold glitter dots. Let me see if I can pull these in here. These are all still available in the online store. They didn't sell out yet, so they're available while supplies last. I've paired the designer paper and the ribbon. I thought it was really pretty for Valentine's Day or really just any spring occasion. So we've got Calypso Coral and Mossy Meadow, and then the stamp set I'm using is Forever Lovely. And I thought that the flowers in this set really went really nicely with the designer paper. So we are going to do some simple stamping on our card and put this together. This is a pretty simple card and a really easy layout to duplicate. So I've got my stamps out already, and one more flower stamp. So I'm going to start by folding the cardstock in half. This is 8.5 by 11. Cut in half, so 5.5 by 8.5 is the card size, and then scored at 4 1/4 and fold it in half for the card. So I've sort of got some flowers going on here, and then the designer paper and cardstock pieces. Now this designer paper is 2 inches by 4 3/4 inches. And on the project page, all the measurements are included there. So if you're wanting to remake these cards and you've got this bonus project kit at home, you can get the measurements from that password protected web page specifically and exclusively for my customers and team. So then we're going to add that layer here. I didn't give you the measurement. This is 1.5 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And then we've got the sentiment, wishing you a lovely day. And although this works really well for Valentine's Day, I think that it also could work for Mother's Day or birthday, lots of different occasions that you wish to be lovely. And I'm using cherry cobbler ink here, dark red, pulling that from the designer paper. I'm going to put that on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. So let me get out my sheet, and I'm going to tie the ribbon into a bow. So to do that, I'm going to take and make 2 loops or bunny ears, and then fold one over and pull it through. Now the most important part of making bows like this is the reworking and pulling and making it just right. So I'm going to work it to be just the size loops that I want, and then use my scissors to trim the edges. All right, this is going to go on with Stampin' Dimensionals, and then we're going to add the bow with a glue dot. Wishing you a lovely day. All right, there is card number 1. Really quick and easy. Now, if you don't have these flower stamps and if you don't have the words, you can certainly substitute any stamps that you have at home. When I design these cards, I try to make them so that they're easy to duplicate, even if you don't have the same supplies that I do. Let's move on to card number 2. This one is really fun, featuring the Golden Honey designer paper. The Golden Honey paper is a free Sale-a-Bration gift that you can choose with a $50 order. It's 12 by 12 paper that has black and white designs and coordinates with the honeybee bundle. So let me show you that honeybee stamp set. I'm not using the dies, though there are coordinating dies if you decide to purchase this stamp set. I am using a marker to color in the images on the paper, and then we're going to use crushed curry and Memento Black ink. So let's set that aside. Let me share some measurements with you on this card. This is kind of a fun fold card, a little bit different than a regular card. I've got this piece here is 4 1/4 by 8 1/4, and I have scored it at 5 1/2. So it's almost a regular card, except I've cut off 2 3/4 inches on the side here. And then the black piece is 2 3/4 inches by 8 inches, scored at 4 inches. So you have a 4 inch by 2 3/4 inch piece, and then that is going to adhere down so that you have the double flap. So let's get our designer paper out and get those glued down. This piece that is the black and white is going to be 2 1/2 inches by 4 inches, and that is just 1/4 of an inch less all the way around so that you have a little border. This piece is almost the same. It is 3 3/4 inches by 2 1/2 inches, and that is going to go on the flap. And we're going to use the Crushed Curry Stampin' Write marker to color in the bees and also the beehive, just to add a little color to this black and white designer paper. This is a really easy way to customize your projects by adding a little bit of color to black and white paper. So this paper is really fun to do this technique with. There are other designs in this paper pack that have just flowers, so you could color those any color you want and really make your project pop. Another thing that I did to add a little sparkle and dimension to this card is to use the Wink of Stella glitter brush, and I just colored that all over the bees and the hives and their wings and the flowers, just to kind of add a little extra color. Not color so much as sparkle and dimension. I think I've got, every time I think I got it all, I find where to color. All right, I'm gonna add the Wink of Stella later, but you can see a little bit the sparkle and shine that I've added here. All right, because this is going onto the card and it's sort of lots of layers, I like to use the tear and tape adhesive to glue things like this down. So I'm going to use 2 pieces of the tear and tape adhesive. This is a really great adhesive because it's very easy to use. You can tear it right off of the roll. You don't need scissors, and then it peels off like that. So we are going to center this on the yellow inside of the card, and then this will close like that. I do have a piece to go on the inside here. This Whisper White piece is the same size as the designer paper, and that is 2.5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And we're going to stamp a bee on the inside. And then without re-inking, we're going to stamp that bee on the tag so that we end up with a stamped off bee so that it's not so dark. On my card, I did just full strength, and I thought maybe it was a little too dark and you could see the words better if you didn't have the full strength bee. So you could go either way. This is what it looks like. This would be stamped off, and this would be using the full ink color. So it's up to you. You can create yours any way that you want it. You may not even have the bee stamps at home. We've got a little piece here that is 3.5 inches by 3/4 inches. And that's going to go right in the center, and then the tag is going to go on top with Stampin' Dimensionals. This is a new punch shape in the mini catalog. It's called Label Me Lovely. I always get it mixed up with Label Me Fancy. That's the other one that's a little bit smaller. This one is Label Me Lovely, and it is one of my new favorite punches. I just love the shape of it. So this is a really fun card. I hope that you like creating this one and that you maybe try that that double flap technique with other paper and other stamps. Let's move on to our last project. This one is using the other new Sale-a-Bration designer paper. This is the Lily Impressions designer paper, and it is beautiful. There are different designs that are all hand painted. In fact, I was trying to decide between 2 patterns, and so here's another version of this card using Blackberry in a different pattern from the designer paper. You really could go with any color and any designer paper and have a lovely card. Here's the original inspiration. This card I copied from Don Olszewski. Love the little the single strip of designer paper to pop, and so this one uses some designer paper that was in the catalog a year or 2 ago, and I really loved the layout and loved the little flowers on the side, so I decided to recreate it. We are using the Lily Pad stamp set. This is lovely Lily Pad. This is a Sale-a-Bration gift as well, and then the coordinating dies are a level 2 Sale-a-Bration gift that you can get free with a $100 order. So I've used the dies to cut out the flowers, but you can hand cut them if you just have the stamp set, or you can use other flowers all together. They don't even have to be these lovely lily pads. If you really love this scripty thanks, it comes from the Seriously the Best stamp set. This is in the mini catalog. It's a new stamp set that goes with a brand new kit in the catalog, but it works really great on its own as well. I love the style and the boldness, so I've chosen the thanks and the yours seriously the best to go on the inside. So the colors we're using here are Pretty Peacock and Old Olive, and all these pieces will come pre-cut in your kit. The card base again is a half a sheet of cardstock folded in half, and then we've got 2 Whisper White pieces, and each of these pieces are 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. So there's 1 to go on the front and 1 to go on the inside, and I'm just looking at this and realizing it's actually cut too big. So I'm going to get my little paper trimmer out. This fun little paper cutter is an exclusive gift that is available when you join as a demonstrator. You can get this little paper cutter as well as a 6x6 paper sampler and a stamp set of your choice for free when you join during Sale-a-Bration. So this is a fun little tool to have. I find that I'm using it a lot, especially when I'm creating cards and just need to trim a little bit off as I'm doing for this card. So really great small size paper trimmer, and I've been getting questions. It will not be available after Sale-a-Bration. So if you are wanting that little mini paper trimmer, the only way to get it is to join as a demonstrator. So make sure to click the link in the description of this video for more information about joining my team. I think you'll really enjoy. I'm realizing that the designer paper is cut wrong too. In your kit, it will be cut correctly. I'm just going to trim a little bit off here. So the correct measurement is 4 3/4 inches. The white is 4 3/4 by 3.5. And then these green pieces are 1.5 inches by 4.5, and then this is 1/2 inch by 4.5, and the designer paper is 1 inch by 4.5. So I'm just going to take a little bit off of that too. And then while I'm talking about measurements, we also have a little 1 inch by 3.5 inch piece, banner for the greeting. And then just a scrap of the pink. This is another pattern from the Lily Impressions designer paper, and that is just like a 1 by 3 inch to stamp and die cut the flowers from. I really loved the texture on this paper, even though it's like a solid color. It has kind of a fun texture to it. So I included a piece in the kit for you to use for your flowers. If you have a small flower punch, it would be really pretty to punch those from the small flower punch as well. So there is our panel layer. I'm going to add that to the card. And now we'll do some stamping. And we're going to stamp the thanks in the Pretty Peacock ink, which has disappeared. There it is. I'm also going to use the Pretty Peacock to stamp the small flower. And I've die cut 2 ahead of time. So we're going to use those dies like I showed you earlier. And then on the inside, we're going to stamp You're Seriously the Best, which is also part of that stamp set. And we're going to stamp a little flower down there and the big flower in Lovely Lipstick. And this color comes from the designer paper. Oh man, look at that. I got ink on my finger, which transferred to my cardstock. I don't think I need to do it all over again. I'm just going to trim the very edge off. Perfect. You totally need that new little trimmer. It's so perfect for things like that. All right, this is going to go on the inside so that I can see what I'm writing on. And then the banner on the front, I'm going to use the twine and tie it around. Oops, I got a little knot in there. I'm going to tie that around, 1, 2, and tie a bow. I love this Whisper White twine because it goes with everything. So if you're only getting one ribbon, one trim, I would recommend the twine. Just need to even these out. Let's try this again. And this is going to go on with Stampin' Dimensionals. 1, 2, 3. You know what? I don't want to cover up that pink flower, so I'm going to go down instead of up. And we'll add our other flowers with Stampin' Dimensionals. Which way do you like it better? Do you like it high or low? There is my Seriously the Best lily pad card. I hope that you enjoy all of these projects in the January bonus project kit. And like I said, if you have not purchased from me before, you can do that in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop. Use hostess code AGXEKJDB or leave it blank. I'll fill it in for you. And you'll get my next monthly bonus project kit. Thanks so much for watching. Happy stamping!